Shalom, and welcome back to Bnei Noach Academy Thoughts on the Torah. Please remember to hit the like button, to subscribe, and most importantly, to share this insight and inspiration with friends and family. When you look in Genesis chapter 3, verse 9, after describing the weakness and failure of Adam and Eve and the fact that they did commit the sin, they ate from the tree, which they were told not to, it says that they heard the sound of God's approach and they hid. And in this verse, chapter 9, it says, and God called out to the man and says to him, Ayeka, where are you? Now, why did God have to call out to him? Well, the obvious explanation that's given is that God didn't want to startle him. Even though he committed the sin, God still wants to give an opportunity to be able to confess and to be able to atone, to be able to reverse the effects of the sin. And therefore, God didn't want to scare him, didn't want to overwhelm him. So this is what's kind of like to start a conversation, to get him into a conversation in a pleasant manner. That is, however, the basic, as we say, the simple, the obvious interpretation of these words. But like everything else in the Torah, number one, it's a lot deeper than it seems, a lot deeper than it appears. And number two, remember that the Torah is a constant message. It's not just a story of what happened in the past, but it's a living Torah. It is a constant, continuous message to you, to me, to all of us. So what is the Torah really saying here? Because you see, if you really want to start to analyze the verse, it didn't have to say, and God called out to the man. It could have just said, and God called out to him or to them, because we're talking about them in the previous verses. This is a continuous narrative. Rather, it says God calls out to the man, which means in a general sense to the human being. And this really is telling us that always, constantly, God is calling out to the human being. And he says, Ayeka, where are you? You have had already so many years that you're alive, so many opportunities, so much talent and so much potential was given to you, whatever that may be. What have you done with it? Where are you? And in truth, this is a verse that we should really be saying to ourselves every single day. In other words, we may not hear God's voice, but the Torah is telling us on a deeper level that God is talking to us every day. And God is, so to speak, knocking on the door and saying, Ayeka, where are you? What have you accomplished? What have you yet to accomplish? What have you to show for everything I've given you, for the life, for the matter, for the spirit, for all the potential, for all the talent that I've given you? What have you to show? This is, of course, not as a negative thing, but actually as a very positive one, that God is encouraging us constantly, do more, accomplish more. You're not just here just to survive. You're here to live. You're here to be. So where are you? What are you accomplishing? And this should be our approach on life.